not proper. Well, this was in San Jose, it was only like 60,000. It wasn't big at all. Because when I went to work there, it was like 180, 90,000. Nobody had a raise. Nobody ever got a raise before I went to work there.
Huh.
And Carl Langer, Father wrote such a recommendation. The God himself couldn't do it. And I said, I'm not taking this down there. I'm not taking this down there and showing it to you. I said, they expect me to be 100%. And I said, I'm not. He said, you take it down there. You know, so I had to take it down. Well, I got the job, but I worked hard.
Maynard, you mean?
Yeah.
Maynard? No offense, but...
No, that
was
his friend. He had a friend named Maynard.
Really?
And that's why they called him Willis Maynard. Willis Martin and, no.
I thought that was a family name.
Wallace Martin and Willis Maynard.
I thought
it
was a family name.
His friend.
What are you eating?
Maynard. Yeah. I liked his father. Well, when Belle, she joined a club, she wanted to sell Nutrilife. And Bill would take her. And so then Dad and I'd play pinochle. So I'd be with him and I'd have Charles and we'd play pinochle.
You didn't tell me this.
Oh yeah, we played pinochle all the time. Then when they came home, we had something to eat. Yeah. But Bill would take her over there, and she gave the money to the public speaking. You know, she gave the money to him, and she says, "Now, if I come to you and I want my money back, don't give it to me. I want to pass this test." You know that she was the top. You know, she got good grades, and she what do I want to say? She was top salesman for Nutrilife. Oh, yeah, it was $20 a pack. And she said, I want to give one to Charles, and I want you to give it to him. Well, it was kind of black, you know, the pills. I'd open them up and get it, and he'd go in one side and out the other. I had a heck of a time I'd go like this and put it back, and I'd put it back. He didn't like it, but anyway.
Charles Hardiman.
You mean
Chuck
really when he was a little boy?
Oh, yeah, he was only about a year old. And he'd be in his high chair.
Reverend Charles Hardiman?
Uh-huh. That's Reverend Charles.
Gave
That's his room.
$100?
That was his room back there.
Gave you $100 on the day of your marriage?
Oh, yeah. Well, hey.
Happy marriage.
When you worked for him, you worked. If he gave you $100, you really earned it. They had a hard time over Sacred Heart. I mean, they had to do a lot. Can you imagine when he first came down here, they were getting $35 a Sunday? And they had to live on. But then
how much?
$35 a Sunday for a while until he got busy and he'd talk, you know, and everything, and then it went up maybe $45, and oh, it was terrible. But in the 30s, you didn't have much money.
No.
President Roosevelt, I still got the letter in there.
That was leading up to the war.
Yeah. Oh, President Roosevelt wrote to him about 1930, maybe 1 or 2, and he asked him if, that's when he was in Lodi, and asked him what he could do for the people, you know, to help them out so that, you know, around Lodi, because it was they were poor. He wrote those pamphlets, you know, that we have. He wrote those so that people wouldn't have to have tuition. And
That's a cute
25 cents a copy,
right?
can you imagine? That's how, well, things were a lot different then.
Wow.
So then when he came down here and he saw that, and I went, oh, and then I came down and I go, how are you going to make it on that? Well, he said, we'll just have, of course, you know, then you get PG&E, it was like $2 a month. 3.5 a month.
No, that sure changed.
Well, I don't pay, how much do you pay? Do you pay a lot?
PG&E?
Yeah, well,
$69.
How much?
$69.
Oh,
but,
mine's about 35. Yeah.
Helen, what year was that when PG&E was $2 a month?
1930s, the early 1930s.
Wow.
That was in Lodi. That was Lodi.
You lived in Lodi?
Oh, yes, I did.
How many years?
Well, we came out here in 1937, and I went to.
From South Dakota.
Well, we were about we lived there about 3 or 4 years because
You
I
came
went
from where in 1937?
to Dakota.
Okay.
Seventh grade I went, 8th grade, and guess what? We made the midi and skirt the same in St. Anne's, and we went to high school and wore the same midi and skirt.
Hmm.
That's public school.
Wow.
I mean, they didn't have anything with the Christianity then.
So you came out
So
here.
it was January, and so it was what do you call it? Freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior, and then I came down here. Yeah, oh, I was so mad.
And then you went to Notre
I
Dame
could
when?
have shot Father because I wanted to be with my friends. But no, you can't be up there. You're going to get in trouble. Oh, trouble? Trouble? I had a wonderful boyfriend. He was I'm not saying names because you kids will go up there and stand on the street corner and say, I know who it is now.
Lloyd, right?
I think, how did you find that out? Oh, through you saw it. Anyway, he was very respectful.
What was his last name? Lloyd what?
I don't know. I forgot. But anyway, he was very, in those days, only one girl was promiscuous in school, in high school. I think she went with every boy there was.
So did Willis know about this Lloyd fellow, Helen?
No. This was in Lodi.
Oh, this was
We didn't know that he went to the war in
Who's he?
40, and he didn't come out till 44. He didn't come out 44, 45.
Well, the war started 41.
He had to go to. He was sent to Australia to straighten out his back because he had a broken back.
How did he break his back?
He was carrying his buddy back to the aid station in New Guinea, and a hand grenade exploded under him.
Huh.
Yeah, bad, wasn't it? Anyway, then he went to Australia. Oh, he said he had so many beautiful, the Japanese, the higher, every time he'd be going through the jungles and everything, and they'd be shot, they had really beautiful swords, with ornate handles, and he had all those, and when he was on his back in Australia, healing, everybody stole them. I said you weren't supposed to have them because I can't even find that one that was up there. We weren't supposed to have. Charles would love to know where that went, and I said nobody here had anything
What?
to do.
Where what went?
It was a sword that he got over there. That was the only thing that he got from over there. You know where you have a bayonet and you have a sword in on the end of it.
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
what is it called?
A bayonet, isn't it?
The bayonet is
Yeah.
the sword.
Yeah.
It's not a sword though. It's a knife that's attached. You know how there's the bullet, there's the
Yeah.
the
Muzzle.
the eyesight and everything,
Yeah.
right? Well,
And that goes
the
right under it.
bayonet was always there was the
little
knife,
above
and then
it.
there was an attachment to the knife,
Yeah.
so you could always just hook it in and then slide it
Yeah.
in,
There
or
you
you
go.
can either just take it off and use it as a knife.
That's right.
And what they would do is basically it was mostly meant for the men who were on the front lines. So
See,
they can
Bill,
go in,
actually, Bill,
they had to defend.
he had a year already in. He wanted to go in and get his year over with, and then he'd go get to work or get married or whatever. Well, guess what? The war broke out, and then he was pulled right back into the war again because he had all this training. Actually, he went to military school, like you're talking about military. He went to military school, and he really didn't have to take calisthenics because they were already trained with wooden guns at St. John's Academy in Los Angeles. He never had to take,
Huh.
Well, his father put them all there, Art, Wally, and Bill, because his mother had cancer. Yeah, his mother had cancer. That's when Sis, if she's kind of like a little wild one, you know what I mean. She had a rough life when she was a kid because,
Her mother was gone.
yeah, and she was kind of from pillar to post, and gee, it was kind of bad. But that's why she kind of got the roughhousing little girl that she.
These are good.
Are those on the table out there, or the two?